Now, before we get into this entertaining video, we would just like to remind you to like and subscribe.
Yes, please do like and subscribe.
Sunflowers! Well, hello there, everyone, and how are you guys today? Well, I am here because somebody wanted me to do a reading on Jennie and Suzy. I hope I pronounced her name right, but she is a girl member from Miss A. I like Miss A. Miss A was a good girl group. First gen, I believe. Could have been second gen because her and Jennie are around the same age and Jennie was in third gen. So, however that works out. But what I would like to say is that apparently the news is that this is interesting. Jennie gifted Bae. I'm just gonna call her that, or B, or yeah, but we're just gonna call her B. She gifted B a coffee truck as a congratulations or to show support in the fact that she is going into the acting industry, or maybe she already has been, and she has just recently got a role. So as a celebratory gift, Jennie gave her a coffee truck. I guess they both love coffee, or B really loves coffee, and so because of that, Jennie gifted that as a sentiment. However that may be, if you are not familiar with this channel, I have been doing readings on Jennie and Lisa lately, as well as other K-pop idols. Please give me a comment or suggestion down below if there's any K-pop idols you would like me to read on. I am always open to suggestions. However, I chose these two because A, there is some recent news, and B, it is not a dating rumor that I cannot prove because there is no evidence or recent articles stating that they're in a relationship. So all that into encompass about how I pick my tarot readings. Let's just talk about what is going on with Jennie and B. So this card right here is going to represent Jennie. Now, I literally just read on Jennie, actually, for the last week, I'll say. The last two videos I have read on has been on Jennie, so I keep opening Jennie's energy up. However, I read on Jennie and Lisa, then Jennie and her career, and now I'm reading on Jennie, and it looks like a friend. We'll see how close she is to B. It's just so funny. And I'm not sure if you guys have seen it yet on TikTok, but Jennie has posted something. I told you guys I follow them on social media, and Jennie has been very silent. So with all that to be said, now let's get ready to read on Jennie and what's going on with her. So here we're going to be focusing on a friendship between the two ladies. I've already read on Jennie and Lisa and how they're working. I've already read on Jennie and her career and how that's going. So now it's time to read on Jennie and this new girl that I've haven't been suggested to read on before. So with that being said, let's see. I'm going to try the new method Lady Crone has suggested me to try last reading. Okay, I accidentally saw that card, so let me just shuffle it one more time. Okay. Perfect. So, okay. Now, these are the cards that we have picked for the reading. We're going to put, this is going to represent B. So, in these cards go, shuffle these cards up now. This is going to be fun. This is going to be hard. They're actually really thin, so I'm not sure if I can do a little shuffle like this. I tried. Okay. Very thin cards. Well, very thin amount of cards for me to try and shuffle properly. Alright. So with that being said, these cards are shuffled. Now let's lay out the energy between Jennie and this female. Wow, I actually picked one card more than I needed to, but you know what, that's okay. We can work this out. This card will represent a block. Oh, I already know what this outcome card is, but I'll save it for the end. Okay, so, because I want to see how this outcome card is going to play into this reading. Now, we are all aware what this outcome card is, given what cards came out. One specific card I placed in there has not shown up yet. However, it is the outcome card. So with that being said, let's see how this friendship is going to unfold. Hi, I'm so sorry for y'all that have been following along lately, but I am going to now go read on Jennie and her life yet again. But this time I'm going to talk about how this person, just pick the card, we'll just figure out how this person plays into Jennie's life. Because as an outcome card, this symbolizes something that Jennie is trying to work towards. Maybe they had a friendship, but maybe they weren't as close. And maybe she wants to formulate or put more energy or time into this relationship or friendship. You know, friendship, relationship, partnership, however you want to call it. It's either or. I'm not going to get bogged down by title ships just to tiptoe around hinting at any kind of relationship like that. So all that to be said, Jennie really cares about B, and I'm not sure how close they have been or what their relationship is to each other. I tried looking them up. It was really kind of hard to find any information about them, but it seems like they have it seems like they've been like cross paths maybe across the years, or maybe working like similar workspaces that ends up having them to be in the same areas together. And because of that, maybe you know how she's like an acquaintance, but she wants to make her a friend. You know how I always put this, you guys. You have your bubble, which is your immediate circle, like who you like allow into your space, literally. And then you have your bubble, which are where your friends are and people who you don't deal with on a daily like that, or like have a close, tight bond with like that. They're in your bubble. And then outside of your bubble are your acquaintances and strangers. So this is exactly where B is in Jennie's life, and Jennie is trying to cater to this. Cater was the wrong word to use. Try to nurture this connection that she has with B, and trying to bring her into her bubble and try to like make her friend or make her somebody close or somebody she can connect to. Who knows? Maybe they're able to relate to each other in some sort of sense. I'm not really sure what has gone on in Miss A's career, what specifically went on with B. But all that to be said now, right now what the block card for Jennie is and how this ties into B is the fact that this magnifying glass signifies looking deeper at things, analyzing things, taking another look, looking deeper. Basically, like I said earlier, wanting to analyze, and also it's been a running theme throughout these readings on Jennie. So, really analyzing who she allows in her circle, who she deems as a friend, maybe who she can count and trust on, maybe trying to find that support group, trying to find, like they say, or maybe what we could say is her people. That's what she's trying to find, and she's thinking that maybe this B maybe B could be that person. So she's trying to take that time out to get to be supportive. So what is currently going on in Jennie's career, or currently going in Jennie's life? Well, there is a message of concern. Not surprising if you've definitely been following this channel almost every time, not lately, the last month I'll say, but every time I read on Jennie or Blackpink, a message of concern always happens to pop up, but it always just happens to pop up when I'm talking about Jennie specifically. And yet it disappeared, and here it goes again. And I just said that it always seems to be curious how something always pops up in Jennie's life. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it's not about her health or anything like that, because this is what the tree represents. You can call it the tree of life. You can call it your body, because we are trees as a body. If you think about it, this would like represent, like, you know, like the branches are hair, or our arms represent the limbs, and then our feet and body literally represents the trunk. So you think of it like the top bushy head, you got the arms and limbs that extend out, and then trunk of the tree. So if you think about it that way, we are trees. And because of that, this tree can symbolize health, but the tree of life can go into like everything, both emotionally, physically, spiritually, in every other form you could think of that could make you one whole being. So whatever is going on in Jennie's life, it's, I hate to say a message of concern, but it could also be something that she's taking the time to get checked out, maybe talk to a doctor, maybe talk to somebody who knows. Like I said, maybe that's why she is connecting more, getting along, or getting closer to B, because maybe B can understand where she is, or in this moment of her life, maybe she just has somebody that can just get her or connect to her during this time. Or maybe Jennie is just trying to find herself, navigate herself, and be comfortable within herself. And because of that, that could just be a concern that's always on her mind, something that's weighing her down. She's always concerned that somebody's going to come up against her, say something against her, and maybe that's something that keeps Jennie distracted in a sense. But what I see Jennie looking at, which is where Jennie is coming from and where Jennie currently is, but it's also going to be affecting Jennie's future, is a pathway, which beforehand it was like trains and going on a journey. Well, now the pathway can symbolize going on a journey, but now going on a specific journey, taking a path you maybe not wanted, maybe not the path you desire, but whatever led to, okay, let's say you were in the city, and to get to where you want to go, you had to take a train to get to, let's say, the mountains. And so now you're in the mountains. So you have taken this path and it has led you to where you want to go. But that's still not your final destination, because now that you are where you want to go, there are still places to explore, other avenues you can go down. That's where Jennie is right now. And maybe that's why she hasn't came out with music at this moment. I know I literally just talked about her career. I am so sorry. That's what happens when you read on people back to back, literally, especially within the same weeks. We gotta give these people breaks. But because I was hot on Jennie, I was just like, okay, let me just talk about Jennie, and this is also seems to be something that's relevant. So because of that, let me just quickly check in on Jennie, and it also just fits in perfectly, because now let's check on who Jennie's friend is at this current moment. Listen, if you haven't, please look at all my other Blackpink tarot readings. You'll enjoy them. So what I see that Jennie's not paying attention to, but what is going to be in her near future or coming before her, is her thoughts. And like I just said earlier about how she could be too concerned or too worried or too caught up about her image, and maybe how people think of her and view her, maybe even judge her. All that can, maybe that's something she doesn't want to look at, and maybe she just wants to focus on what she wants to do, and do, like they say, follow your heart's desire, make her heart content, just do what she does, and maybe try to keep away from her thoughts. Just do, think less. Like Nike, just do. That's what Jennie's trying to get herself into, and into the mindset. Or I should say, get herself into the drive, because she's trying to get herself out of a mindset. But all at the same time, it's always something that's like nagging her in the back of her brain, something that she can't not think about, because maybe she is this person that likes to be over analytical, over analyze things, recheck things, maybe a perfectionist. So because of that, that could be something that keeps Jennie from jumping at doing something. That's the best way I could say that. So, all that to be said, and maybe I didn't mean to call her Miss A. Maybe B is able to coach or give Jennie some advice, especially because they are close in age. Maybe they are able to relate to each other more, and maybe because they are in similar spaces, maybe just having that familiar face, or maybe having somebody that can look out for you. Maybe notice when you're down, especially because she's so used to being in a group and now she's like on her solo dolo self. It's like, well, how, it's just like, how do I know I'm not overdoing something, or how do I know I'm missing something and I just like don't happen to catch it? Maybe if I have that person around me that can catch me up on my A game and be like, hey, I see you slipping, that's going to keep me focused and keep me in check and keep me reminded. To maybe not get too over analytical and not think too much and not get too judgmental and not get too bogged down by what people have to say, and maybe even looking for things that people could judge, just picking. Maybe Jennie could just pick on herself to try to see what somebody could possibly want to point out. And like, I don't mean it literally, but maybe the best way I could say it is use against her, even though if you can catch my drift, what I mean by that. And all that, maybe to have somebody to like get her out of her head and out of her brain and out of that thinking pattern can maybe help Jennie along the way, as maybe her thoughts can be a little bit destructive in that sense, or not, or counterproductive. Let's say that Jennie's thoughts can sometimes be counterproductive. What I see in her corners, though, this is what I like. This is what I say is, I just talked about what's going on in Jennie's bubble right now. In Jennie's bubble right now, like in her like immediate circle of what's like literally she could like literally touch. Didn't even got to reach out. That's how close it is in her bubble. That's what's going on with Jennie right now. Now I'm about to read on what's going on in Jennie's bubble, where I will now say that B has transitioned from acquaintance of being outside of the club and now is inside the club, is now inside the bubble, and is now the friend, and shows up as this loyal dog. Or I'm going to say is somebody that, well, actually, I can't say that, because looking at the way this card is, maybe this loyal dog could have symbolized somebody else. Hint, hint, wink, wink, Lisa, somebody that was a loyal friend to Jennie, but she had to maybe cut off. Please, honestly, if you have not, I hate to keep referencing them like this, but honestly, we could write a book at this point. It's a whole story. All that to be said, Jennie could have cut out somebody in her life that was who she could have considered a loyal friend, maybe somebody that she could go talk to and have these personal, intimate conversations with. But now she's found maybe she's trying to find somebody, or maybe she has found somebody to take that place, or maybe she's in the process of trying to find somebody to fill that hole, but never entirely, but just try to get something closer. Maybe just not try to replace anybody, but just try to live her life, just do her, make friends, and if the friendship it flourishes. I felt like I gave the same sentiment about her and Billie Eilish when I read on their friendship. But what I do see, though, around this message of concern is the whip and the scythe, which I just was saying that the scythe has to deal with somebody that she had to cut off, and this whip has to deal with the community. So this, okay, just to really break it down, and then we'll see if we can rework this into another storyline. But just to quickly say, the scythe symbolized cutting off, I hate to say this, cutting off Lisa or just some loyal person she thought that was supposed to be in her life forever. A dog's a man's best friend, she thought. And because of that, now she has this message of concern. Now she has something to deal with. Maybe it's something that's going to be like worrying her, something that weighs her down, something that keeps her up in her head because she's thinking about what people are going to say, what the backlash is going to be because of this community card. What are people going to say now that seems to be this apparent separation? And especially now, what are people are going to say that now that I am in the community and socializing or just doing my thing, I meet people along the way that could feel that void and stuff like that. Lose to heal, lose some, gain some. Maybe, sometimes, cutting things out of your life is for a good thing because you have evolved, or maybe it's time to grow past that, or maybe it's time to harvest and really just reap the benefits of that. Like now that it's happened, now you can let it go, let it come back like another season or something like that, because things have to regrow once you cut it. So because of that, that's the end of a chapter. Now it's a new chapter that starts a something else new that can grow. So all that to be said, that's it. It's all to say that Jennie is currently in a transformative period in her life with both her career and her friends and the people she allows in her circle. And B just happens to be one of those people that stands out, and why Jennie just so happens to give B a coffee truck, because she is trying to be that friend. She's trying to be supportive. Like they say, treat others how you would like to be treated. She is trying to be authentic, live herself, just be Jennie. Sometimes it just seems to be hard for her, but she's just trying to be herself, focus on herself, not get in anybody's business, not get into any drama, just really focus on me, myself, and I, and not in a selfish way, but just in a way of minding your own business and staying in your lane. Best way, because if you stray, it goes awry. Like they say, don't go off the beaten path. And that's what Jennie does not do. Jennie does not go off the beaten path. Jennie was like, I will stay on the path with the ranger. That's how safe Jennie is playing it. So because of that, maybe Jennie doesn't really have somebody to talk to, and maybe she's trying to find somebody to talk to, because like I said, she isn't focused on her thoughts. She's actually trying to ignore her thoughts and try to preoccupy herself. But because this is in her future, and I did say B was in her outcome, the outcome and the future kind of go hand to hand. So maybe this B person could be somebody that Jennie could find herself reaching out to, talking to, as I've said a few times in this reading, somebody that can really, maybe be that, I don't want to say like the mature motherly figure, but somebody there to be of guidance, maybe, as like I said, especially because they're the same age, to have that connection and to also feel maybe like a sense of belonging, a sense of understanding, a sense of not being alone, a sense of feeling loved, a sense of being understood. I'm trying to think of all the things that could be a message or a concern for Jennie that seems to just weigh her down, where she just tries to like shut off her feelings and not look too closely at things. Because if she does look at too closely at things, it kind of becomes like kind of like OCD, kind of in the sense where it just overly thinks and like overly thinks. It's like when you love your favorite song and you keep listening to it over and 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 over again. Yeah, that's what Jennie does with her thoughts. And so because of that, maybe she does need that person to intervene from her thoughts and maybe try to help her, maybe even categorize her thoughts. Because honestly, even if you do what Jennie does, and ignore your thoughts. Try to forget them, not forget them, but try to just ignore them. Try to not listen to them. Do something completely different, or do the complete opposite, or just disregard your thoughts. That's a part of yourself. So you're pretty much neglecting a part of yourself. Jennie is neglecting a part of herself. She's neglecting her mind in that sense, or that regard, in the fact that she is not allowing herself to maybe fully feel or fully go through an experience, because she is concerned about how it could affect her physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. So because of that, she'd rather just turn her back to it and just ignore it. And honestly, that can also be terrible too, because just because you ignore it does not mean it goes away. It's just basically like sweeping something under the rug, or putting something in the closet to make your room look neater. It's still there. You're still going to have to eventually deal with it. And if you have somebody there that can help you along the way and give you that kind of advice, and maybe help you to look at things, but not look at things too closely, and maybe to look at the right kind of things and to not get distracted, then Jennie can be on the right beaten path that she wants to be on. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading about mostly Jennie, but also about how B could fit into Jennie's life, and especially what's going on currently with Jennie's life. And we just recently seen Jennie too, so that's another thing. So Jennie has came out the woodworks. She's no longer MIA. We're still waiting for music though, Jennie. I will keep saying it until we get a music release. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading on Jennie and Suzy, or B Suzy. Okay, sorry about that, guys, but pretty much I was finished wrapping up, and I hope you enjoyed, even though it was mostly reading about Jennie. I hope you enjoyed this reading about Jennie and B, and how B or Bay Suzy, Miss A member, fits into Jennie's life and what's going on with Jennie. So it seems like there is a friendship, or is a connection that is blossoming between the two. And it does seem like that Jennie is being that supportive friend and just doing what Jennie does when she supports and is looking out for her friend, or just showing that she really cares and shows her love and support. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and please give it a thumbs up if you've made it this far, or if you just enjoy K-pop, please give it a thumbs up. And subscribe if you have not subscribed. It will help this channel very much if you subscribe. Please and thank you. And please leave a comment on anybody else you would like me to read on. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. Sunflowers!